Hey, welcome back to gaming news for Jody's game that he plays with his friends. And this is for the gaming that took place on 24 January 2017. Last Tuesday. No, it's not the last Tuesday in January. Well, anyways, where we last left our heroes on Black World, teams were getting into the Fantasia device. They've broken it off into four different realities, which you can do in a Fantasia device. And Chris's team Stars chose to go to Disney World, which was pretty neat. You know, Disney World, like it's in Orlando, Florida, and it just they altered it a little bit, having less people there, so that they didn't have to wait in lines, but somebody to go against with all of the people there. Um, his team is made up of Kamala Khan, Clarice Ferguson, Mary Marvel, Wally West, Sam Alexander, Peter Parker, of course Chris Ritz, and Gwen Stacy, Spider Gwen Stacy. So they enter the Magic Kingdom first off, which seemed appropriate. Which anybody goes there want to go there first to get the Main Street USA. They get some ice cream in a place. Most of this gaming is not exciting gaming for you, though, the viewer who might be interested in what kind of fights and stuff they have. This is all role playing. They're here to, on Black World, on this Luna device on an asteroid, for 2 weeks to build rapport amongst their team. Something that they would really not have the time to do when they get back to Earth 210 with all of the multitude of missions and school and other things they got going on. They just don't get time for that. So here they're getting that time. And so this team chose to do Disney. Most of the team are high schoolers. I think everybody but Chris is in high school. Yeah. Wow. So, wow. So they choose Disney World, get ice cream. They talk about a little bit of adventures and personalities, and they make their way. Peter Parker plays a little camera joke on them, putting a camera to take pictures of the team and their expressions while on Space Mountain. And they were actually ride it a couple times. Like I said, they took down the amount of people there so that they could do the rides and enjoy themselves. It's different for a bunch of superheroes who have done some pretty crazy things in the last 10 hours that they've had their power. Well, more than that. Over a day that they've had their powers. But just trying to be normal kids is different for them. So it's interesting playing this. And it took some time gaming that because of the intricacies of discussing and the things that you can do at Disney. They even went through the castle, Cinderella's castle, and like I said, Main Street USA, taking pictures like people do there. Trying to act normal. And then also we gamed, I wouldn't say where we last left our heroes. The villains, last left our villains, Max Eisenhart and his team, made up of Joel Hastings, Forge, Cassandra Xavier, Peter Petrelli, Claire Bennett, and Celine Galeo. Also there is Magneto's girlfriend, Magda, who's pregnant with his babies, twins. And they all choose to go. Well, I don't think they all choose it. I think he chooses it. To go to Magneto's island. He has an island in the Bermuda Triangle. If you remember back in X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 150, that island. Yeah. It has like Atlantean or Call of Cthulhu sort of style castles and stuff on it. But they hit the beach, and right away Claire Bennett goes to Bikini, and with Joel there, he doesn't try to hang out with everybody on the beach, but Forge does. He's a teenager from Texas. And all of these guys are teens. Remember, Earth 210, where all of these guys came from, all mutants are 18 or 17, 18 years old in what would be their senior year of high school. Since this all was taking place in March when they left their world. So some of them, 17 or 18. And so we have a young Magneto, a young Peter Petrelli, a young Selene, and a young Forge, which nobody's used to those guys being that age. But Claire was already younger in the show in her first episode, so instead she's older cheerleader in Odessa, Texas. But anyways, nonetheless, they're on this island, and they start the bonding, but we finish gaming because Ray comes on. Yeah, Ray comes on the game via Skype. He's got 2 little babies, so he's trying to game while on Skype. And I told the guys, hey, Ray comes on, we're playing Clefland with a D. So we go to Clefland, and that would put us on to day 1 still, roughly around noontime on day 1. The last night, Triton, Coral, and Dolphin had gone to the island of Avalon and discovered all these stone statues. They asked their friends, all from Blue World, that they grew up on, Xander and Zara. Xander is the scion of the Count. And they asked them, as well as Crow, Ritz, one of their other friends, to go explore this place. They have the Baron Ray's ship, Brent, to fly out to, all together, they fly out to Avalon. Now it's daytime, and they still see all these statues. The one statue that they have in their hangar bay, or vehicle stowage would be more appropriate because it's not hanging anything in there. Vehicle stowage is a statue of a woman, and Triton had found a map to a forge on that woman. He asked, everybody kept trying to prod Zara to use her magic. She's a Homo Magi. Her mother's a Tana. She has similar abilities to that, and they're all trying to prod her. Hey, why don't you use your magic to make her human? She's never done anything drastic with her powers. Major life, like somebody could die. She's never done anything that somebody could die from. She generally uses her powers for just simple things, growing up on a world where there's no technology. So they eventually talk her into it. She does. She uses the magic, and she transforms this woman from stone to I think she used the backwards words of become what you were before, which 20 years prior she was turned, or 60 some years, turned to stone by Gorgons. But they find out when this girl turns back to human that it's Morgana. Yes, legendary Morgana. She is there, and Crow realizes quickly, oh, she's a Time Lord too. Yeah, Time Lords can be turned to stone. Crazy. And they can be turned back. What if not everybody can be turned back? Only Time Lords, or maybe some people with short. We'll find out more later. But the guys aren't really sure. But it's Morgana Pendragon, Lord Uther's daughter, if you guys remember Legends. Well, anyways, these guys don't know much about Legends. Because they grew up on another world, but they might have heard her name here and there. But that's for them to start revealing and talking to their parents eventually. Well, they land at the castle that Morgana used to live in, and she's, distraught about the people, the knights, and everybody. They try to fight these three Gorgons, as she calls them. She tells them that they were all part of a big attack when the Atlanteans attacked Cleflin. This is something I gamed way back in the early 2000s. And all the guys, they had been gaming on Clefland, for 10 plus years, and then the Atlanteans attack, mostly due to the willpower. He organized the Romans and their gods to attack Cleflin and drove off all the heroes. Eventually, he created Earth 6 with that, and that's where our gaming had gone to. They left Cleflin 0, and made it eventually to Earth 6, and which willpower created his own world of multiple different things we'll talk about later. If you're interested, asking the questions below, asking a comment below, maybe I'll do a video on it. So far, nobody's asking direct questions like, hey, make a video for this. So, anyways, they do that. And they figure, well, I think Triton has Brent scan the island. They find that there are some other things on this island that are not these guys. So, and they don't have a telepath with them, and that's something that they would like. So Crow realizes, oh yeah, back in Cleflin, I was supposed to be meeting with two twins, Matt and Elisa Prentice, descendants of Alex or Lex or Xander Prentice and Megan Morse, the Martian. So these the half Martian twins. He's like, yeah, we left them back there, and one of them is a telepath. Let's bring them here. So talking to his nephew Carter Jr., CJ, he gets a hold of them, and roundabout, using him as a time spot, eventually brings them to the island, bringing CJ and them. He sends CJ back, leaving Matt and Elise. I think it's Elise, not Elisa. Here with the rest of these people. Now, Matt and Elise were raised on Red World, not on Green World, which is where Triton, Xander, and Crow were all raised. So he's kind of meeting these guys for the first time. Then Matt reaches out with his telepathy, his Martian telepathy, and finds these Gorgons. Finds out that, hey, there's more than just one. There's multitude. There's, like at least three. As he starts to read their minds telepathically, he wakes one of them, and which wakes up the others. So they all decide this is a really unsafe situation. These guys could turn people to stone. So what are we going to do? They all load back into Brent, which is Brent's lightning ship. He's cloaked, and he, flies around the island, going to the the most eastern end of the island. And they find all these caves. Now, most of this Avalon has a lot of Roman architecture on it, as well as kind of Crusader architecture. So it's a mix and blend. Like one was going away and one was coming in. But anyways, and there's a lot of caves down along the eastern shores. And they detect that they're there. So these they wait out all these lords and ladies. I don't know what to call them as a group. But these friends, these companions, or I think this tribe. They were going to go by the tribe. The tribe wait inside the ship and view the Gorgons coming out of this cave, because Matt is sensing that they're coming closer. Well, as they see the feet, and their feet. Oh, the Gorgons don't have feet because they're thinking D&D, and then they got all gnarly feet, and they're walking. And they got like some sort of gown and breasts and stuff. Whoa, this is not what they're thinking. And clawed hand nails, and then the snake heads. Well, when they're seeing the snake heads, Triton's twin sister Coral starts to turn to stone. Everybody else is able to start to turn away. She turns to stone, and they're viewing her on the thing on the screen. This isn't real. This isn't the way it should happen. Yes, sometimes you guys think this and they're wrong. Well, it's a much more unpredictable world that they're in now, and Zara, who freaks out that little Coral, she grew up with Coral, is all turned to stone. After they kind of like turn off the screen, Zara uses again her power, resorting her back to normal, but she's feeling less and less like she's going to have the power to keep doing these sort of big spells or major important things with her power. Why? We don't know. She doesn't tell that to anybody. But Xander is also reaching because he has the power to open up a portal to like a dimension of magic, and is trying to use that magic to go to her. But what he's really reaching out to is the Tower of Magic back in Cleflin. And who knows what sort of repercussions this is having. I'm giving you guys this because you're going to know stuff that the characters aren't. Because Joel and them, they really don't listen to this thing. I think Ray listens, but most of them don't, so it doesn't matter. They're not going to get any secrets. Anyways, so we move along. Reverts Coral back, and then they say, whoa, different game plan here. Matt is connecting to one of these Gorgons. There's 3 of them. Cethano, Uriel, and Medusa. He's reaching into one of their minds and is seeing through the multitude of little eyes on there. Like each of these things have brains as well as the eyes there. And he doesn't feel that this is very safe. So they start brainstorming other ideas. Like, why don't we just blast him with the ship? By the time we finish gaming, nothing really comes to fruition among a clear idea of what to do. Mostly because Ray had to leave a couple times because Ray is playing Triton, and when he came back, we would only be able to play. So when Ray wasn't on Skype, we went to Hastings. We last left our heroes in Hastings. Jonathan, which is one of the siblings of Matt and Elise, has been assigned to be an emissary from the march to Hastings, to the county of Hastings. Lord Tempest had brought him to the castle, the Count's castle there. And the Lord Hastings' son and daughter, which are, what was it? It was Mara and James. Mara and James, they're walking along the seashore, the pier dock area of Hastings, and they realize that Jonathan's here, and Mara really likes Jonathan. So turns out that Lord Tempest, has to bring Jonathan to join them. So now we have Jonathan, Mara, and James in Hastings, finally being able to adventure together. They all grew up on Red World, and they're going to go get some food or something. I don't know what they're going to do in Hastings, but this world is mostly that designed for the second gens of characters created. And hopefully we'll keep playing it out and see where they go. Well, thank you for joining me this week. If you are interested in learning more about it, subscribe over, I think it's up there. And if not, make a comment below, ask for more. If you don't like it, leave a comment below anyway. Say, hey, what you would like to see more of. I would like to do videos, interviews with some of these gamers. And my son was just here today, and I should have done that, but I didn't. And see you next week.